I wanted to say hello and welcome to another Facebook Live training. And I just invite you to participate, ask your questions, reach out, because when you participate, I get ideas and we can talk, and it just becomes this nice free-flowing session. And you can get some free coaching as well, because I'm here to serve and help out. And my name's Phaedra Antioco, and I'm an occupational therapist. I'm a pain relief coach and trauma therapist, and I help people overcome pain, but not in the normal way we have pain, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. It's looking at the different layers underneath the pain, because sometimes when you actually get out of pain, you have a whole nother problem. It's, how do I become a better person? How do I become that person that I've been wanting to become? So we tend to get stuck, and it happens all the time with my clients. Is they start to break free from pain, they get out of it, and then they figure, what do I do? Oh my God, that's the hardest part. So there's different layers, different levels. So where are you all listening from nowadays? If you just put it in the little chat box here, you'll see that on the bottom, and just let me know where you're writing from. And are you cold? I'm fortunate to be in my hometown of Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, and I'm here for a solid 2 weeks. It's interesting. I moved away from here 20 years ago. I decided I need a warm place, but I wanted to move out west in the United States. So, oh, Jan, are you for real? You're in Boca too. Wow, great. And it's so interesting because I'm driving around, I'm visiting old haunts, basically, where I grew up. Everything's changed. It's completely different. Even just being in the mall, I'm like, well, that's where this one store was. And I just couldn't even find my orientation because it had changed so much. And it was almost a kind of going through a trauma vortex in a way, because you guys might not know my whole story. Yes, I had an accident, I had pain, I overcame that, but it's been an interesting life so far in my 41 years. I've had a lot of experiences, I've had a lot of things happen, and I was able to overcome those as well. And I come back as a stronger person, a more resilient person, a wiser person who is living more on purpose. Never perfectly on purpose, because it's life, right? It takes challenge, it takes growth, we have to keep going. But just that sense of driving around my old school, the old neighborhoods, all the people, everything, it's just like really tripping me out a little bit. So I definitely need to find time to plant and ground myself a little bit. Have you guys done that, where you return home? Maybe you're even living in your childhood home at this point. How was that for you? Does it bring up things? See, I went to college and I graduated in 2000, right before the millennium. Actually, it was December 99. And I said, Mom, I'm moving out to Arizona. I don't know anybody, but I just have this calling that I need to be in Arizona. So I told her, January 14th, 2000, I'm moving. And I packed up my little car with everything I owned. I drove out to Arizona, didn't know a soul, and I built a life for myself. So being back here, it's interesting because I always wanted to live out west, but I thought, okay, let me just test the waters. Let me come back here to Florida. The ocean's gorgeous here. It's warm. I got to go sailing. I got to learn a little bit of sailing. Talk about changing your brain and learning something new. That was a beautiful experience. And when I'm sailing and I'm learning, and the sails go up, and I've got my hands on the wheel, that's what you call it, and I have to turn into the wind. But it's this feel of just being in the flow. Just being in the flow, the wind is hitting the sails just right, and you keep going. So here we are, yet another holiday season. And for you, it might be this amazing time where it's just, yes, the kids are finally here. I finally get to see them. I get to be with the family. Or it could be, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to get through? How am I going to just manage? I've got to get these gifts. I've got to go to the store. I'm hurting. I'm in overwhelm. I'm anxious. I can't move. So where are you? Put it in the chat box. Let me know, where are you right now, December 19th, as we get ready for the holidays? So we've got Chris from Chile, Reno. I bet it's really, really chilly there. Yeah, I left Arizona, and let me tell you, I've had a cough. I've had a cough for 7 weeks. I have tried everything to get rid of it. Besides, I came here, I went to the doctor. The last case was I've got a prescription for antibiotics and a prescription for prednisone if I needed it. I could pick one. But luckily I got here, and the warmer weather has helped me relax, and I haven't been coughing as much, and hopefully I'm healing and I'm kicking it. Because I went to the naturopath. I did a nebulizer with colloidal silver and essential oils. I had massage treatment. And if you do have a cough, if you are sick, I do want to stress the importance of actually getting your muscles worked on and getting yourself released. Because think about coughing, right? We're clenching, we're bracing. Our diaphragm underneath our ribs, our necks, shoulders get really, really tight, all the ribs. And I even feel just 7 weeks of coughing that I have to release those muscles. So I highly recommend, if you're willing, to get a massage. I'm definitely a fan of myofascial release to help open that up, to help you breathe better and help open up the tissue so you're not as congested. So that's what I've been dealing with. So let's see if my voice can hold out here. All right. Now we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, because I see this so much. What do you want? What do you want in your life? If we wave the magic wand, what do you want? How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? How do you want to feel when you get dressed and you plan your day? What's stopping you? What do you want? And sometimes we have our pain, and that pain can definitely stop us. It can stop us from walking far distances. It can stop us from driving longer distances. But if you're afraid, if you're in pain, if you're stopping yourself, I'm going to ask, what's underneath that? What limiting belief is there? What fear is there? What's stopping you? So let's rewind. And really, what do you want? Can you answer that question, or is it hard for you? Because honestly, for some people, many people, we get stuck in a box, we get stuck in a rut, we can't see our way out, and our brain gets wired to all the pain and all that's uncomfortable. So what do you want? Anyone want to be brave enough to put that in the group? In the box there? Do you want to be able to go for a walk? Do you want to be able to just start exercising? Do you want to be able to get a hobby? You know, because we all say and we want to do things, but sometimes life gets in the way. Do you know what I'm talking about? And we put that aside. And another big thing is helping everybody else but yourself first. So what is it that you want to achieve? Because yes, you might be in pain, and it might be hard to walk and go to all those things, and you might not have enough money and all of those things. But it doesn't mean that you have to absolutely say, no, I can't do that, and give up. You can. But what's your fight in you? What's your power? What fire can you light in you to make what you want happen? I am personally working with a coach, and we set goals for the next 6 months. And I'm in a group, so we set goals, and one of them was to go sailing. And I actually did it. It was like, it's on my list, it's on my wall, I see it, I'm going to do it. And you know what? Not only did I sail, but I was on a hammock on a sailboat. I love hammocks, but I'm on a hammock on a sailboat. That's going grandiose. Something better came out of it than I even thought. But I set my goal, and I worked towards achieving that goal. So underneath pain, how frustrated are you when you want something, but you can't find the means to get it. So you shut down and you get stuck. But what is one little teeny tiny action step that you can take? What's stopping you? What are you telling yourself? What thoughts are you telling yourself that might be preventing you from getting the things that you want? Because when your insides match your outside and you're actually doing the things you tell yourself you're going to do, it's beautiful. It's expansive. So I'm going to invite you to remember a time where you felt amazing. You wanted to accomplish something and nothing stopped you and you were able to do it. Really pause with this and just get an idea of what that was, what that is, that moment. And whether it's I'm in this chaos of the holidays and I can't wait till it's over because you know what's next, January. New Year's resolutions. So let's do that today. Let's think about what is something that you want that is feasible, that is possible, and what's one little step in the next 2 weeks that you can do for it? Because we get stuck, right? We have these limiting beliefs. I can't, I don't have enough money, I'm in too much pain, life is too hard, I can't. So you have to think about what is that thought, that limiting belief that's stopping you. You have to write it down. We have to bring awareness to it. We have to shine the light on it, because when we shine the light, we can start to catch ourselves with when we're starting to stop ourselves. Does that make sense? So we just have to bring awareness to it. And that's what I do with my clients. We need to bring out what is stopping you from reaching your goals. And I've had some people tell me they've never set goals. And it could be that I want to swim and I have a membership to this great gym and there's a heated pool there. So can you commit to going and doing that thing that you say you want to do? And if you don't, I'm going to ask you why and what are you telling yourself, right? Because I want you to play detective and I want you to follow your thoughts and follow your emotions to discover the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And you need to put them on paper and stare at them, right there in their face, stare at them, these thoughts. And I want you to ask if it's true. Because really, you might not realize how strong they actually are in your life. And another way to look at this is if you just quiet down, is there this radio station playing? And is it not so great music that you just wish you could change the station? These limiting beliefs, these thoughts, they get stuck in that station, on that vibration, on that frequency. They just get stuck there and they keep you stuck. So I want you to just think about what's something that you can commit to right here. You can put it down that you can do. And then let's say we got Christmas coming up in the holidays. Let's just say a week and a half, 2 weeks. By January 4th, what can you accomplish? And then really look at when you set that goal, what's stopping you? What do you tell yourself? I can, I won't. Sometimes we even do crazy things like self-sabotage. We self-sabotage. I know I said I'm going to go swimming, but my brother called and he needed me to come over, and then my sister needed something and my daughter needed me, and I was just so busy, and it's their fault. It's their fault. No. You have to say no, because the goal is that you said you're going to go swimming. And when you do that, you're going to feel so good. But it's going to be hard at first, and you're going to make up a bunch of excuses. But you go and you do it, and then you do it again, gently, and then it becomes a habit. But the first step is we need to write down those thoughts that stop us, the beliefs that stop us. And it can be, and I hear this a lot, I don't believe I'm ever going to get better. And I say baloney to that, because you might say, you're young, Phaedra, you look great, you're fine. Hey, I've had my problems, right? And I have a broken bone in my leg. And I can still do just about everything. Just about everything. I'm not one of those girls who's walking in the mall with high heels on, I'll tell you that. I really don't get that. Do you? But what is it that you want to do? But then what do you do to stop? And it could be being busy. Oh my gosh, being busy. Because if you weren't busy and you actually had time to just sit and just to be, this stuff comes up. The silence brings up our emotions, it brings up our past, and trust me, that stuff does live in our body. It really, really, really does. So the first step, we need to write it down. We need to look it in the face and tell ourselves the truth and realize you're stopping yourself, right? So we need to then just acknowledge that these are just beliefs. They're just beliefs. They're not true. They're not truths, right? And this is often the hardest step. So whatever you think your limitation is, you're going to tell me, but it's real. This limitation is real. I don't have enough money. I'm not going to be able to find a way. Have you ever had a moment where money just magically appears, where you get a refund or a rebate, or you make a little extra money that you didn't know was coming through, that you're always taken care of? But we do need to do a little mind shift, a little thought shift, a belief shift, and a little bit of challenge working on it. Like myself, I'm working on raising funds. It's a lot of funds. And I don't know if I'd qualify for it or not. And I got a little bit of it, but I'm going to keep on digging, and I'm never going to give up. And I'm going to get what I need right now. And there is doubts, and there's naysayers. And you have to be careful who you tell what your goals are, because they might say, oh, you're fine. You don't need to do that. You know those people? Because I did that. I told some people, and they really brought me down. I was like, no, I know I can do it. So go back to a memory when you did something you didn't think you'd be able to do, but you accomplished it. Bring that person in, bring that energy in, that feeling, that sensation. And I'll do that with you right now. Just pause. The time when you overcame, when you did something that you said you're going to do. You were unstoppable, perhaps. Everything you needed came to you. And I'm the prime example, because let me tell you, I woke up from a coma. I was 34 days in the hospital. And if you're too busy and you can't take a break, and you're worried about losing money or if someone's going to suffer, I literally couldn't do anything. 34 days in the hospital. I couldn't work for a year. But I was okay. I survived. The money came. Everything worked out as it should. But we just got to get clear in what's stopping you from, and you can easily blame your pain, but there's also beliefs about the pain. Is it every time I drive, I hurt, so I'm not going to drive anymore? Or I'm really not. Every time you see your car, you start to clench, you start to cringe, and you create this whole story, and it just catastrophizes, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess, right? But maybe it doesn't have to be that hard. Maybe you can, for once, finally do it. But first, we need to be the detective. We need to identify what our thoughts are that are stopping us and our limiting beliefs. And oftentimes, they can be the beliefs of our parents that we've carried with us through our lives. And I'm working on overcoming that. I'm working on overcoming the limiting beliefs that, say, my mother gave me. She was a major example in my life. And she set an example for me. And then I saw what I wanted to not be, and how I wanted to be different, and how I wanted to grow. And I'm working towards that. And yeah, that little voice in my head can come in and say, oh, you're not meant for this. This isn't going to happen. But I'm not going to let it. Because I've had successes in the past, and I resource over to those successes in the past where I was actually did what I said I was going to do, where things worked out. And I tell you, waking up from a coma, 34 days in the hospital, not being able to work for a year, and I survived, that gave me experience. Experience is the only teacher. So we've got to try. So if you want to go swimming, just try. Ask for help. Ask for help. Can you help me get this stuff together? Can you go with me? Ask somebody to go with you. And tell them, you don't have to go in the pool. Just sit there with me. Keep me company so that your nervous system feels safe. Right? So just to recap, first we have to look at what our limiting beliefs are, our thoughts that are stopping us. They're like having the brakes on. We need to really look at them in the face. And then we acknowledge them, and we acknowledge them as just beliefs that they're not true. So I want you to just be this, it's a metacognition. I want you to be out here, watching in here what you're telling yourself. Okay? And know that they're just beliefs, and it's your wiring. And then when we're in pain, whether physical or emotional pain, we're so wired to that. The alarms are going off, and you know what? That's safety. That is our nervous system wired to protect us. So we're going to pay attention to these alarms going off. But they don't have to be true. They're just beliefs. But our brain gets wired to the pain and what's not working and what's uncomfortable and what hurts and the sadness and the depression and the anxiety. And sometimes you hear, oh, write a gratitude list. It's great and it's hard. It's not always easy. How about for a second, you can just review your day, just a moment, and find something that was pleasant. Find something that you are grateful for. Paying attention to something that was good that day. Because when you're in pain, it's so wired to what's not working. And it's like we're almost out on a mission to prove how bad our pain is. It can be that way. So we need to acknowledge that these are just beliefs and that they're not always true. Okay? Because we'll argue for it. No, you don't understand. You don't understand my pain, my pain. And it's almost like on a subconscious level, you feel the pain and you almost, it's exaggerating the pain. That it's actually worse because you just perseverate on it over and over and over again and beat yourself up with it. So as I take you back to a time that was hard for you, you were able to overcome something. Let's try that on. So we want to try on a different belief. It hasn't always been this hard. It hasn't always been this way. So we find a time in your lives where it was easy, where it wasn't hard. And we try on a different belief, right? Use your imagination and then try on a belief that's aligned with what you want. It might be something like, my financial difficulties in the past have taught me so much that I'm fully prepared to handle them now. Or now that I've been in an unhealthy relationship, I've learned to look, I've learned what to look for in a happy partner, a happy, loving partnership. And that was in the past you were in an unhealthy relationship, but you were able to overcome it. You learned what to look for. And this is where I like affirmations. So whatever you're struggling with, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I have bad self-esteem, I don't feel like I'm enough. Google affirmations for money, affirmations for time, affirmations for not feeling good enough. Write them down and say them. But the trick is to go beyond just saying it. You really want to step into this new belief and feel, like everywhere of your body, feel how it feels, right? And this will help dismantle those limiting beliefs that are causing you to be stuck. Is this making sense? So Chris, I want to wake up bright-eyed with energy and excitement for the day. I haven't felt that way in years. Thank you for sharing. So here we go tonight. I want you to write one thing down that will make you feel good tomorrow. And you write it down and you wake up and you do your routine and you just know, you have the sticky note there. That's what I'm going to do today. I told Phaedra I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then tell me how you feel. Write back to an email. Just that one thing you did. What can you do to shift differently? And say, instead of, I just want to wake up bright-eyed with energy and excitement, try this on. I wake up bright-eyed with energy and excitement for the day. I have energy and excitement for the day. Because the I just want implies you don't. But maybe there's a sliver of that somewhere. And if that's too hard, Maybe you can go back to a time when you had so much energy that you were able to just do and get through the day. Here's the reality. She's still in there. She's still in there. That bright-eyed, energetic person, she's still there, I promise you. But what are the beliefs? What are the stories? What are the layers? What is the junk, the garbage that's stopping you? We can be a victim, which, you know, I've had those moments. Or we can conquer and we can overcome. And I don't expect to wave the magic wand and all of a sudden Phaedra said this and I do this and I'm fine. No. You're going to have these beliefs. They're like tug-of-warring in your head. So we shine the light. We bring awareness to it. Pay attention to it. But hopefully we start to tune into those pleasant thoughts, those pleasant beliefs, and start focusing on things that are working. And again, going back, Google affirmations. Affirmations for energy. Try this one out. You ready? Say this with me, everyone. I feel fantastic. I feel fantastic. Might be a lie at first, it might feel it, but really just like really feel it for a minute. Feel fantastic. Maybe breathe, because you know that's important too. Yeah. My life is thriving, thriving. What is it to thrive, right? It's not just getting through the day. It's thriving. It's even more than that. And it's like this, we get stagnant, we get stuck, but we need that momentum. And that momentum is once we get there, we go over there, and then we take off. And so that's important. So just to review, right? We want to write down our limiting beliefs, write down our thoughts that are stopping us. We acknowledge them. Is this true? Nah, not quite true. Oh, but my mother taught me this, and then my brother used to treat me this way, and that radio station, turn it off. Turn it off. This isn't true. And that's where the present moment comes and the mindfulness comes. And that's where I teach you just to orient, look around the room, find something that's pleasant for you. And if it's just holding something, if it's holding a pen in your hand or holding the remote in your hand, your phone, just look at the colors, look at the designs and the details, and that'll take you out of here just for a second even. Throw in some breath, and then you're good. So we're going to write down those limiting beliefs, and then that's it. Acknowledge that they're just beliefs, they're not truth. And then try on a different belief. I can. That's where the affirmations, I feel fantastic. Even though you don't, just play with it. You can just start, I feel fantastic. Say it around the house all day long. You can put on a fun song. You know, and I know if you've been in that much pain, I know I used to be that way. I was like, I don't have the energy to put on a song. I don't feel good. I don't want to put on a song. I love the song What a Feeling by Irene Cara from the movie Flashdance back in the 80s. Great song. Try it out. Put it on in the morning and just move. It starts off slow and then just dance. That's what I did when I was coughing. Oh my Lord, I was coughing so bad. Everyone felt so bad for me. And I was like, I'm okay, just let me cough. And then I would just get some music and I'd start shimmying a bit and it would help release all my muscles. Right? So we try on a different belief. We could put on a song to go with it. Get your affirmations out. Read them. Don't pick 100. Just pick 1 to 3 of them. Because we want to just look at what do I want in my life and how am I stopping myself? Because I guarantee you it isn't your back pain, it isn't your sciatica, it isn't just your hip pain, it isn't just your knee pain, and it isn't just your foot pain. It's a life problem. And then conveniently sometimes, and don't get mad at me for saying this, but sometimes we can use it as an excuse. Yeah. But we don't have to. You can be and do and have anything you want. And I say this because if I can accomplish what I've accomplished so far, and again, I was working with a coach where I really had to have this word called accountability. Do you know what that is? Where you say you're going to do something and you have to account to somebody that you're going to do it. And that's what my clients do with me. One was afraid of driving because it would cause her back pain. And she was able to go finally out in nature and drive up through the orchards. She loved it. Next goal is I want to start swimming again. I think I can. Or, you know, she has back pain and she sees these folding chairs at a concert she was going to, and initially was like, oh, I can't sit there. I don't want to, I need my back chair. I need to go get my back support. But she fought through that limiting belief and she sat anyway and she was okay. That's important. So again, we need to try on a different belief. But first we have to be aware of what those beliefs are. And then we have to take a different action. And I used an example. Do you know you have a dog, a puppy, or a dog, and you're like, come on, come here. And they're like, no. And they're scared and they're timid. Like if they're trying to go down the stairs and they're just like, and you know that it's safe and you know they're okay, but they don't know it because they're from their past experiences, or it's new and they're timid and they're hesitant. I want you to be that dog, that puppy that just goes through and down it anyway. It goes through the challenge and that fear, and you conquer it anyway, because on the other side of that fear is just freedom. You're going to feel better. But it could be complicated. It could be your marriage. It could be your relationship with your adult kids, your grandkids, or lack thereof having a relationship. It can be so much clutter in there. But the first step is just to bring awareness to what's not working in your life. And then we explore and we release our limiting beliefs, and then we just rewire the brain. That's what we have to do. So I want to offer you encouragement for that for the rest of the week, as we have lots of triggers. Just walking through the department store today and the amount of perfumes and the busy. And I just walked in the store and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's too much. Like I just had to say, no, I can't do this, right? And I look at my body and I say, how's my nervous system responding? I'm just going to shop online. I'm just going to take the easy way. We don't have to push through. And we don't have to do things for this holiday season just to please someone else, just because we don't want to look bad. I want you to really honor yourself. And January, it's just energy in the air of a new year, a new start. Think about the simple things, your goals that you want to accomplish. I want to start walking. Even though I hurt, I want to just take some walks. Oh, it's snowing. I can't walk. Well, go walk at the mall, right? Go walk around your house. Find a nice jacket that you could put on to be warm and just go walk. Just do it, right? And we really want to take a different action. And this might feel scary, but act as if your new belief is true. Fake it till you make it. Sometimes I say, think of your ideal person. It can be a character in a movie. It could be a superhero. Put a suit on. You're going to dress like them. You just step into the suit of them. You zip it up and you act as if. Right? Because that's going to help take you through. But I just wanted you to see, do I have thoughts that are stopping me? Do I have limiting beliefs that are stopping me? Because if you avoid taking any steps, if you avoid moving forward, you'll just feed the same old, boring, limiting belief, and you won't get anywhere. You won't get very far. Taking action, even if it's the smallest step, will help you with your new unlimiting decision, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't. I'm just going to invite you to head in the right direction. Head in the right direction. Pay attention to, am I being a victim? It's old stuff, and that's okay. We want to just get rid of it, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you as we go into the holidays. We gear up for being with family, being around triggers, being overwhelmed, overworked, overpaying for everything, whatever that is for you. Just start to pay attention to those thoughts and those beliefs in your head. And just see if we can follow and create a new belief. And that's where gratitude can come in, but really feel the gratefulness. Because I have so many clients that they're still in pain, but it's more their brain is in pain, their mind is in pain. They're disappointed with where their life is at. The pain has been so overcoming. And I'm talking stress could be pain, emotional pain, heartache, grief, all that stuff can be there. Yeah. But what can you do to make a difference? Just one little step, having a vision as we close out the chapter of 2018. And then we open the book for an amazing 2019. That's what I wish for you. So just pay attention. What am I telling myself? And, you know, I always like to have a nice journal. I have a journal, this cute little fox. So I have a journal for everything, and I'm writing it down. I'm doing my homework. I'm writing it out. And it really takes stopping, pausing, and being with ourselves. Almost like it's confronting that side of you that you don't want to be. Because I could have easily, after my car accident, let me tell you, that story of I'm broken creeps in all the time. My spine was crushed. It looks like an hourglass. I'm broken. I'm not good enough. That comes up. But if I go back to who I was before that accident, she's still inside me. She's perfect and she's whole. So who were you before whatever these challenges that came upon you? Who were you before that? When you felt more whole? She's in you. He's in you. So I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you just beautiful things. And I'll just hang here for a moment. If you have any questions, you know, I wish for you to wake up bright-eyed with energy and excitement for the new day. And you can lay in bed tonight and you can say and visualize how you want to feel when you wake up. And hopefully that will come. Hopefully that will come. All right, any last questions? Any questions? I love questions. I love connecting with you because I want to build a supportive community for you. A supportive community where you can express yourself, you can get the help you need. Because I know what it's like to have somebody in the family that doesn't respect you and doesn't believe you. I know what it's like to want to do so many wonderful things, but you weren't able to make it happen. And I just know if you could just make it happen, so much beauty is on the other side of that for you. And I know this because I was able to make it happen. I went to San Diego for the summer. I lived on the beach. I realized that was not my dream. Glad I didn't pick up and move there. It made me really appreciate where I actually lived. And here I'm 2 weeks in my hometown because I set the goal, I'm going to go sailing. And I did it. Now, if we can just get some wind, I could go more. But I'm going to go to Florida. I'm in Florida now. I'm going to drive across the coast, 3 hours, and I'm going to visit my father. And I'm excited because of family drama. I had been estranged to my aunts and my cousins. And for finally, I don't even know if I've really met them. I get to go be with them tomorrow. And I'm not letting that stop me. That has been a dream of mine. I have a big, giant family that I really didn't know, and I really want to pull them all together. So, yeah, thank you. Let me know how it goes tomorrow. Send a reply. Any of my emails, I'm a one-woman show. Just reply back and let me know how you're doing. I want to support you. I want to connect with you. I want to know you. I want to know what you're doing. And I hope you're having a good holiday season so far. Are you? You know? Or is it stressful or dramatic or is drama going on? Let me know that too. But I'm here to support you. All right. Take care, guys. Good night.